have my cousin Lisa on today from Air Central Heating and Cooling. And let me do a really brief introduction. Lisa and I have known each other all our lives. So that is one thing. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being on.
Oh,
Uh,
no, thank you for having me.
oh, absolutely. Growing up in a religious community that didn't encourage college education, Lisa and her family had to find their own path to financial stability. I actually just learned that today. I did not know that. That's what led her and her husband to start their own business, not just as an entrepreneurial venture, but as a necessity to support her family while staying true to their beliefs. The main reason was creating the flexibility she needed to be present for her kids, and it allowed her to be there for every milestone that really mattered. Today, 30 years later, that same business continues to give her the freedom to enjoy life with her 7 grandkids. Adorable, all adorable. I saw them this weekend. Proving that, well, not all of them, proving that sometimes the most meaningful success comes from building something that aligns with your deepest values. Again, thank you, Lisa, my cousin from Air Central Heating and Cooling, which has now been in business for 30 years. Tell me, how did you start your journey?
Well, seems like it's been a very long journey, but I think there were two things in my life that really shaped my journey. One, of course, was the religion that me and my husband were in. As you mentioned in our my bio there, one of the things that was not encouraged was going to college. So we both knew because we met very young. We met in the congregation that we attended. We were very young when we met.
Yeah, wasn't it like eighth grade, seventh grade?
Something like that.
Something
We were
like that,
19
yeah.
when we got married, so that should tell you.
Yes.
Um, since we knew we weren't going to be able to go to college, we had to plan ahead of time, you know, take advantage of high school as much as we could. He took every trade class that he could take. His goal was to be a welder as soon as he got out of high school. I busted my butt taking every type of office course you could take. I mean, I could do shorthand, I could type 120 words a minute, I could
Ah,
do 10 key. I mean, I did it all, dictation, transcribing, because I had to have something in line for when I graduated from high school, which was all, I mean, very good for both of
yeah,
us. I
all
mean,
good.
it kept us
Great
focused.
skills. Trade skills are great
Mhm.
skills. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which a lot are not even, we're losing some of those trades now.
I agree.
Um, that was one thing. The other thing is, I come from a very hardworking family. Both my parents were very hard workers, but their jobs were mostly manual work. My dad always worked in different types of factories, you know. My mom too, but she also did a lot of agriculture work. I mean, she was out in the fields picking lettuce, picking watermelons, and or whatever the case was during that season. And I saw how hard she worked. And I always told myself, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna at least prepare myself in high school. And I think to a certain degree, I think it used to offend her that I would tell her, I'm not doing what you do, mom. I'm gonna find me a little cush job in the air conditioned office, especially in Yuma. We're supposed to have 117-degree weather today. Um, and it would kind of, I think it would have hurt her feelings that I would talk that way. But when I saw how hard they worked, I thought, no, I need to prepare myself with something. So I did. And my husband started working in the trades. He started out in electrical and then went into air conditioning. I, right out of high school, actually before high school, started working with an attorney and I worked with him for 10 years. And that was kind of like my college.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah.
that. I did not know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That attorney, Ted Bowen, may he rest in peace. He was like a mentor to me. I learned so much from that
Oh,
man and from the office staff. I still have friendships with some of the office staff from back then. From there, I did a little bit of banking. One day, my husband comes home. He says, "That's it. I'm starting my own business." And I'm sitting there holding onto my seat. We had just bought a home. We were only 25, 26 years old. Um, we were starting that. We had decided to start a family. And I'm like, how are we going to do this? We had one little 4-car sedan. I'm like, how are you going to go into business? You don't even have a truck. So he's like, I don't know how I'm doing it, but tomorrow I'm taking off to Phoenix and I'm taking the licensing test. Um, I had to support him. I mean, what else could I do? I gave him a credit card that didn't have a whole lot of credit available in it, but I said, take it, take your test. He comes back with the company name, he passed the test, and we started rolling. 30 years later, here we are. But I think those two things were a big part of why we ended up where we are now, and why we started the business. And of course, with a lot of complaining on my end, because it's such a big responsibility, he would always remind me, remember, this is the way that you can take off early to pick up the kids when the kids were smaller. You can go to all of their events. You can go to field trips with them because you are your own boss. I did have help in the office where I could do that. And I'm very grateful for that now. I don't think you see it at that moment, but
Right.
now as I look back, yeah, he was right. And now I can do that with my grandkids, which actually I'm going to grandkid number 8. I don't know
Oh,
if
who's
you,
having a baby?
our youngest, Jesse,
Oh,
having a
baby
baby,
number two.
baby
Yay.
number 2 for Jesse. Yeah. So yeah, we're excited about that. Um, so yeah, I think that's how we got here. It's been a lot of hard work. Uh, I could say that sometimes I wish I hadn't gone into business, but I've learned throughout our lives that you have lemons, make lemonade, and that's what we've done. It's especially, I think, me as a woman, I take what I have and I try to make the best of it with everything in our lives. I've tried to do that, and he's really good about always reminding me too. You know, um,
Yeah,
now we
Jesse.
need
Yeah, he's quick.
to.
He's quick.
Yeah, he is. He is. So that's basically how we got here. We're now at 30 years. We're debating now. Now we need to start looking at some sort of retirement. How are we going to do this? Because we've become so hands-on to the business that it depends so much on us. So now we have to start figuring out how are we going to weed ourselves away, um, and be able to enjoy things a little bit more because we have been so hands-on and involved.
So
Yeah.
that's a really good pivot point, I think, for many of us. And I can just say, because I mean, you're my cousin, or it's me, then you in the line of the 12 cousins. Because Jesse he's working, because it's summer and he's not able to leave the business, and that is a transition. And I'm always thinking now maybe where he was telling you at the beginning, now it's time for you to be saying, these are the steps, and what could that look like for the two of you? Because I don't know, do you think that the two of you are ready to start walking away?
Maybe not just yet, but we're starting to look at that. And
Okay.
and we need to. We need to. We're getting older. He can't climb on a ladder like he used to.
Yes, he can, right? I tell Austin the same. Austin's like, I'm gonna go put lights up. I'm like, that's pretty high. I don't want you. I'm gonna go trim the palm tree. I'm like, that's really high.
Yeah, no, I think we need to we're starting to look at all of that. Um, Starting to look to see how much more we want to keep doing this because um, as you saw, he couldn't join me this weekend when we got together. It's difficult for him to get away when especially
In
when
the
the temperatures
summer.
are high.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is difficult. I'm gone. I was actually on call, but I
Oh,
carried that little phone with me and got all the calls and I, shipped them out to Yuma while we were in California. So yeah, that's something definitely that we're going to start looking at. Just so that just to be prepared, for our older age when those years come.
it's not coming. We're not gonna get that old. It's gonna be a long time. I tell you, it's gonna
But
be a long time. So what
yeah, I'll tell you
if
what.
you do, if you were to dream or not dream, actually just put that goal out into your future, right? Put it on your timeline if you look at that timeline, and I just want for the record to know I'm older than Lisa
Not by much.
by quite a few years, but
No, no.
a couple years, not months, but a couple years. And we look at that timeline, and I think my timeline is long, like it's really long. And so, and then I can talk like, with Austin, he was with his company for almost 40 years. And so he was like, I need to get out of here. I can't do it anymore. But he still wants to do other things. So is that something that maybe you think about, or is this something like, I'm just going to shut it off or have you thought that far down the timeline?
No, it will definitely be gradual. We have a very big customer base. We, like you said in in the bio, like it says in the bio, we're very aligned with our values.
Yes.
And one of the things that I think has made us successful with Air Central is that our customers are very important and our employees are very important. So we can't just cut off and go. There is no way that would ever be able to do that. There are, we have a relationship with our customers. With some customers, we have a relationship legally for up to 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So
Right, right.
yeah, so because of air conditioning systems that we've installed for them, I mean,
Okay.
somebody else could take care of them, but we don't want to leave them just hanging, you
Right.
know.
Absolutely.
So, and same thing with our employees. We have employees that have been with us for, wow, we have one that's been with us for 29 years.
Oh, wow.
29? Yeah, 20, 29. Trying to think back. Yeah, no, I take that. 27. We have one for
No,
20. We have one.
that's like your whole company time. That's
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, we have had some very loyal employees. And of course, we always try to put them first and we try to put our customers first. So it's not something that we would automatically just be able to turn off. We have to put a lot of thought into it, how we're going to do it, how are we going to transition to, we can transfer that over to someone that is going to take care of them. Because I really feel that that's one of the reasons why we have been so successful,
That's
so
true.
yeah.
Let's talk about the community. We haven't really talked about that, but you and Jesse are mainstay. You have been in the Yuma, Arizona all of your lives.
Mhm.
Part of that, really part of that community. Um, well, my mom, Aunt Vicky, we were transferred out of Yuma when I was a teenager. I think I was 13 or 14 because of her job. But she did
Mhm.
not want to leave Yuma. I mean, there was lots of crying going on with my mom, and I'm like, Mom, we're moving. I'm like little, I'm
Mhm.
like eighth grader or something like that. Like, I know we're moving, everything's packed, and she did not want to leave. And so I know the pull of the community. And I know just from myself being raised there with our family.
Mhm.
How is that? How is that?
You're right. It's a very close knit. And at the time when you were here, of course, Yuma was a lot smaller. There isn't a place you can go and not know someone. Even though now, of course, it's grown quite a bit, and we have such beautiful winters that our population almost doubles with
Oh,
winter, what we call winter visitors. They come from all over Alaska, Canada, up north, and they have homes here. So, and that's a lot of our customer base too. They've been with us forever. Every winter they come down, they're calling us for service or whatever they may need. But it's true. Anywhere you go, you're going to be connected to someone or even related to someone. It's so funny. We recently moved to where we're living now, maybe about a year and a half ago, and one of our neighbors sends me a picture the other day, and she's with one of my very close high school friends. And I'm like, what are you doing with my friend? It turns out that they're very good friends. And the more we got to talking, we know the same people. Our previous neighbor was very close to her. I mean, that's just the way Yuma is. Um, but and that's part of too of how we've grown, call Jesse, call Lisa. They can take care of
yeah.
you if air conditioner's down, um but yeah, that is true. We never really thought about leaving Yuma. I think most younger people, when they're first starting to consider college or graduating from high school, their first thing is like, I'm getting out of here. And in some ways it may be good because it helps them grow, but a lot of them come back.
Oh, I
It's
didn't
really
know that.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not
your
coming
mom
back.
came back for a little bit. I know you wouldn't, but your mom came back for a little bit. It
Yeah,
had to
she
be,
did. She
but she
did.
enjoyed living here for a few
She
years.
really
Yeah.
did. She did.
Hmm.
She always loved Yuma.
Hmm.
She always did. She did not want
Yeah.
to move at all.
Yeah. There's something special about it. Not everybody feels the same way about it, but I just think that people are, it's just very friendly. Everybody kind of watches out for each other. it's just a nice place to live. It's a good place to raise children. That I know things have
Yeah,
changed a little bit.
we're both products of Yuma.
Mm-hmm.
Raised
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right. Well, just in the last few minutes that we have left, is there anything, any advice or insight that you could share with other entrepreneurial women that are on their tastic journeys? Or not even if they're an entrepreneur, just as a woman?
This one. Well, you know what I think is funny is that when you told me to ask me to be on your show, I was like, I don't have nothing that you could use.
I said, yes, you do.
And I think I felt that way because a lot of your guests have been, very educated women and nice, great businesses and I felt like, well, I didn't even go to college. I have a high school degree, but but I'm very proud of how far we have gone. I can't say that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Lisa. I am proud of you. The family is proud of you. And you're a beautiful person also,
Oh,
like
thank you.
inside.
But one thing I can say is if you do start up a business, if or even if it's not your business, make sure that you take time for yourself. Take time for yourself and surround yourself with people uh, that you can depend on. Because when it all falls on you, it's difficult to be able to take that time for yourself or even to get away. So I think in a lot of ways that's been one of our drawbacks as owners. But like I said, we're very hands-on and it's
Mhm.
very hard to get away from that. You kind of have to, you know, readjust your way of thinking to be able to do that. So I think that's very important to do that.
That's great. I agree. Even if you're, even I'm just speaking for myself, being in the corporate world, working for an organization, you do get, and I think I was sharing with you earlier before we started the recording, before I left the corporate America, my circle was about this big because you just
Mhm.
connected to that. There's,
Mhm.
then you leave and you're like checking your emails and texting and, you're always on. So it is difficult to have
Mhm.
that.
Yeah,
Well,
have a balance.
have a balance. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they say, is it balance or is it integration? I don't know anymore. It was work-life balance for a while was the buzzwords. Then it went to work-life integration because honestly, like think about it. We live and work. There is no boundaries sometimes. And now I don't know what it might be. I think
Well, things change so much and terms change so much. I think as long as you're really happy with what you're doing and you're happy with yourself and with your family, that's the most important thing.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
I agree. Well, thank you very much, Lisa
Thank
Gonzalez
you.
with Air Central Heating and Cooling, Yuma, Arizona, 85364.
5 and 6 and
Five and
7.
six. It's been a
We're
while.
growing, Carla. We're growing.
Well, I really, really appreciate you coming on again. I'm honored. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It
I
was a
love
joy.
you. I love
Love
you.
you too.
Love you. Talk to you soon. Appreciate you coming on.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Love you. Bye bye.